Alright guys, what's up? Today I want to talk about putting in the work and when you don't feel like it, right? And it's kind of like what Hamza says, right? He kind of says you gotta put in the work, especially when you don't feel like it, or something like that. I'm paraphrasing, but that statement is pretty true if you really think about it, right? A lot of us spend the time figuring out like other stuff that doesn't really matter. Like if you're starting a YouTube channel, you're like, how do I edit this thumbnail to look like this? How do I put the right tags? How do I have the right channel name? Just go and do it, bro. Just go and do it. Use your own name. Just go and do it. That's really all you need, right? People overcomplicate the most simple stuff. All you need, like the basics of anything, is you gotta put in the work. That's it, right? For example, I do music, right? So what do I spend my time doing? Do I wonder like what's the best way to do this, or what's the best way to promote? You need to have your foundation first before you even try to build up, right? Even Tristan Tate was giving the guy from Fresh, right? He was giving him advice about like dieting and stuff, right? And the guy's like, so what should I like? Should I be eating McDonald's, like something like that? And he's like, oh no, he asked what's like the perfect diet, and Tristan Tate interrupted him. He's like, I think you're asking too much. Like you're trying to fix things too much before you even see what's the basic problem. You eat McDonald's every day and you expect to, lose weight. I'll play the clip.
What can I actually eat? Because bro, my diet is terrible, bro. Like I eat it every single day.
You know the thing is though, you ask these questions, I feel like you already know the basic answers. You eat McDonald's every day. You know not to do that. So you're trying to get into the specifics without covering the basics. You know what I mean? It's like when people care about fitness, is like, okay, what's the exact correct technique to lift this and lift that? People who don't train at all, just go running and do some push-ups. Everyone knows like the answers. Step one, stop eating McDonald's every day.
Right. So when he said that, like it makes the most sense, right? Why are you trying to go up 2 steps before you finish the first step? Have your foundation strong first, right? Your foundation in anything, right? When you're learning a language, you can't just go up and start like speaking like paragraphs, right? You gotta go word by word, then sentence, then paragraphs. Like you need to build like the first understanding of what the words are before you go to like a whole paragraph. You can't just jump in and start reading paragraphs, right? And that's with everything, really. If you look at sport, like for example basketball, you need to first figure out how to dribble, right? Shooting doesn't even matter until you learn how to like have ball movement, right? Until you like learn to maneuver where you want the ball to go, right? Without like looking at it and like dribbling like that, right? So like you need to first figure out the basics of anything at all before you try to go into like the complex, like what do I do after here, right? You're trying to be LeBron before even trying to learn how to dribble. That's basically what I'm trying to say. So you need to have your foundations. Like if you're addicted to something, for example, right? What is the baseline of your addiction? Why are you addicted to that? What's like the baseline of it? For example, people are addicted to porn because they have a dopamine rush, so you're addicted to watching it. So that's the baseline, right? Or people are addicted to smoking because when they smoke, like cigarettes, for example, they get the nicotine hit. So that's the basics. You're getting the hit from the nicotine. Everything else your mind is doing, like you're going to the store, you're buying the pack and stuff, right? So you need to first figure out what's the main root cause of like your issue, right? Like even with the porn and the cigarette stuff, right? What made you start doing that? That's what you need to start looking at, right? And then what made you keep doing it, right? For example, working out, I keep doing it because it makes me feel good. Like Arnold said, right? The pump, it feels like pretty good. So that's why I keep doing it. And I also like seeing myself get into shape. So that's why I'm addicted to going to the gym, right? People think addiction is like a negative thing always, right? When you're addicted to doing the right things, then it becomes kind of positive, right? That's why I tell you guys, like, sometimes things are not completely good, sometimes things are not completely bad. It's all a balance, right? There's no black and white, right? You're not Michael Jackson. So you need to have like this balance of how your fundamentals are, basically, right? You can't be too healthy, like where you're like, I'm only gonna eat like fruits and vegetables and meat, and be like a full carnivore type thing, right? You can't eat raw meat, so you can't be all the way like that animal healthy type thing. But at the same time, you can't be all the way just eating junk like 4 sodas a day and stuff, right? I'd argue one is better than the other, right? The healthy part. But when you're overly obsessed with health too, that could also kind of cause like this mind obsession. And funnily enough, I feel like stuff like cancer and stuff is a disease of the mind. I don't think it's like a bodily thing. Like I feel like your mind, like you create these scenarios and then your body reflects what, like how you're thinking is. Your thinking is literally cancerous in my opinion. So that's why your cancer is getting like formed in your body. How else do you expect it? There's no cure to it. People don't know like how your body turns against itself. So how else are you gonna explain this? It's a cancerous mindset that's driving you to get like these diseases, right? Where people try to go and figure out like how to defeat cancer before they even try to defeat their mindset, their weak ass mindset, right? For example, for me, I know my story's not gonna go like however, like if I'm put in a situation, right, life or death situation, I know for a fact that I'm not gonna be facing death, especially right now. That's because I have so much more to give, right? I know how my story's gonna go, and that mindset alone kind of like turns death away from me. You know what I mean? So you need to have a mindset of that something like you need to have like a fundamental to have a positive mindset. If you get what I mean, your fundamental like default setting should be positive, right? Like I get sometimes you get negative and stuff, but you need to like figure out how to become positive again. It's really balance if you really look at it, right? And people kind of, again, I'm repeating myself because it's kind of obvious. You jump the gun. Stop jumping the gun, right? For example, if a boat is flooding, right, or like if a boat has too much water, it's gonna start going down, right? So what do? You take a bucket and you get the water out. You don't focus on if the boat sinks, this is what I'm gonna do. Then I do this, then I'll do that, and then I'll be like okay to live. You first focus on the issue at hand. You first focus on what you have at hand. Make sure your base is, or your fundamental base, or your default setting is correct and accurate. Then you go and you do whatever. Like then you go figure shit out and do all of that. But what I'm trying to say mainly is your default setting right now as a masculine man should be to put in the work, right? I see so many excuses from people. I tell people you just got to put in the work and look after your diet, like your health, not your diet. Health and work. That's it. That's what you got to do. That's the key to success, really, right? Like look at this YouTube channel, for example. I do not promote this anywhere. I don't do anything. I post a thumbnail, barely edit these videos, and they come together. And it gets like a couple hundred views, It's all in God's hands, right? That's because I'm focusing on the basics of the basics. I'm not focusing on, this thumbnail is going to do this, or this caption is going to do this. I'm not focusing on nothing. No clickbait, no nothing. I'm literally recording the videos and putting them out. That's literally what I'm doing, right? That's my basic attack for the YouTube channel. And look, it shows in the results, right? People are liking it, right? I got a comment the other day. Someone's like, edit out the pauses in the middle. But that's the whole point. It's like a conversation I'm having with you. Why would I edit out the pauses if it's like a conversation, right? And their basic attack is to skip through shit. I know for a fact, just based on that one comment saying that edit the pauses, that they kind of have this thing where they scroll to TikTok or Instagram and stuff, right? That's their basic attack. So they're trying to fix what I'm doing instead of fixing what their mindset is. Have the attention span to stay through the pauses. In a regular human conversation, you're gonna have these pauses in the middle, right? If I'm talking to you right now, I'm coaching you, there's gonna be pauses in the middle. That's simply how it's gonna be. So you need to fix your basic attack, and their basic attack is just like scrolling, like low attention span. That's their basic attack, right? So you guys, you just gotta learn to have the work ethic. That should be your basic attack, right? Don't depend on anyone else. All right, you guys got this. You gotta focus on you, and you gotta put in the work. Honestly, that's really all that matters. I know I didn't upload yesterday, so I'm gonna be uploading one more video today, maybe, and then I'll post maybe another one tomorrow. Let me know in the comments what you guys want to watch, right? Because I'm kind of doing stuff based on what I would like to see when I was like in these stages, but I want to see what you guys are saying. Okay, so I'll make something based on what you guys like. Tell me one of the main issues you're dealing with. All right, and I'll try to figure out how, like, if I know about that topic, I'll try to figure out how to help you guys out. All right, it's all on you guys.